What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let's get down to the situation, but please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, y'all. Let's get into this situation. Let's talk about Migos, the group formerly known as Migos. Let's talk about Takeoff. Takeoff lost his life at the age of 28 years old, shot in Houston. Lord have mercy. Rappers, please stay away from Houston. Just perform in your own city and perform out of the country. Just be very careful where you go and where you hang out and the people that you are with. This is very unfortunate because he's 28 years old. He's a millionaire. Migos is an A-list group, and all the members, even though they're not together, they are A-list rappers. They've been around for a while, and Migos kind of like change, rapping styles as well, especially when it comes to Takeoff. Takeoff is the one that convinced his uncle Quavo to actually start rapping, and then they changed, the sound of rapping, updated it and things of that nature with their tones and their voices and things of, and just how they spit rap music. So it's really unfortunate that, Takeoff is not here anymore, and he's only 28 years old, and it's just really, really a sad situation, point blank, period. When it comes to Quavo, Quavo and Takeoff, they was in Houston. They was chilling with, J Prince Jr. They was chilling with, that whole Mob Tie family and things of that nature, which is just like, okay, like any rapper or any, person that's a part of the music business that has a lot of deaths around them and a lot of robberies and things of that nature, you're supposed to stay away because them ain't your people. Nobody cares about your life as much as you care about your life. People that say this is supposed to have your back, you got to call, you got to check in, that don't mean nothing because Takeoff is dead. Like, for real. They were supposed to be protected down there with J Prince, Jazz Prince, and all them people. They was out there shooting craps, playing dice and things of that nature. And why would you even play craps or dice? Everybody from the older generation to the new generation would tell you that if you want to die, play dice, because people get killed every day playing dice. Because people are not willing to lose their money. They rather take your life than to lose their money. You know what I mean? And see you walk away with it. Oh no, it ain't gonna happen. But in any event, what it boils down to, as the rumor mill out here in the streets, is Takeoff was basically just chilling, minding his business. He was hanging out with his uncle, and Quavo was basically, a part of a dice game, and things wasn't going his way, allegedly. And they're saying that, Quavo got into an altercation with members that was supposed to be protecting him, that have mob ties, J Prince, Jazz Prince, and things of that nature, were all out there. They was hanging out, blase and a third, and Quavo basically was feeling a certain type of way, and he was getting upset and he was getting angry. He started arguing, and he tried to swing on somebody, and then shots came out. Okay, that's what the story is basically leading up to. Don't know if this is actually true, because when it comes to social media, people try to put a death on somebody. So right now, everyone is pretty much blaming Quavo for the death of Takeoff, saying that he shouldn't have been out there playing dice, and why is he going to try to argue with a member of mob ties, the people that's supposed to be protecting him. He's out in Houston, they're out of their their affiliation area, they're out of the area where maybe somebody will protect them even more, because they are respected from where they're from, and that's Atlanta. But when you step out the zone, you go into somebody else's zone, that respect that you have in your zone ain't the same respect that you have in their zone. And in any event, you don't know who's around you that want to take your life just because they want clout, just because they want street cred. You don't know who paid them. But in any event, people putting the blame on Quavo and saying that Quavo popped off at somebody, and then one of the members from Takeoff and Quavo team pulled out artillery, pulled out a weapon, and basically they're saying that from Quavo and Takeoff side, that the person that, security, or the person that was carrying, the thing with them, ends up hitting Takeoff by accident. Lord, this is just a whole crazy situation. So now people out here blaming when it comes to Quavo, saying that it's his fault, because all this happened because he got this temper. He's less than 150 pounds soaking wet. Why is he trying to take off on somebody? That's Takeoff job, not your job. So in any event, the moral of the story is don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody with your life unless like you are paying them, you have a bond with them, you have a relationship with them, and don't put yourself in situations where things can get aggy or where things can definitely take a left, especially when it comes to shooting dice. We all know when I was a child, I was one, if you see somebody shooting dice, you move, you get out the way, yo, get out the way, yo. You just bounce because somebody's gonna lose their life because there's a sucker playing and there's a sucker that don't want to lose his money and basically will take your life. And I don't have no idea why Quavo will even be playing dice with these dudes. Like, why play dice? Get in there, get your money, and get out, bounce. I know they want to show that they're cool. I know they want to show that they down. I know they want to show that they got it popping, they got it all together, and they're hanging in the streets. The streets don't love nobody. The streets don't love nobody. The streets will take you up before anybody. The streets ain't where you're supposed to be at. It's not a fun place. It's not a happy place. And if you have money and you have made something out of yourself and you're a multi-millionaire over and over, the last thing you need to do is be out here playing dice. And so, a lot of people are just, I can't believe that this happened. What went down? And then you have Duke the Jeweler. He was down there with Jay Prince and Jazz, Prince, and he was, playing dice and he won $100,000. But before, Boosie said he went out to the parking lot. Then that's when somebody robbed him and took his money. And I know Quavo probably didn't want to go out like a sucker. He probably felt that, there was some sucker-ish going on. He probably felt like they were playing with his money. He probably felt like that they were playing with him. So he wanted to let them know that, he's the man and you can't do this because you ain't going to be on Instagram. You ain't going to be on Twitter. You ain't going to be on YouTube talking about me and saying I'm a sucker and I got played and blase and the third, because that's the worst thing that, a lot of rappers don't. They don't want to be, considered a victim or being victimized. You know what I mean? They want to be the wolf. But in any event, this whole situation went wrong for, Quavo. And if it's actually true, because people would throw dirt and say that you had something to do with, their death and you didn't. And then it goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks and they just beat you down on social media. So, it's just one of them situations where, we won't know the truth until we see the truth. Okay. But in any event, when it comes to Duke the Jeweler, he was a jeweler to the rappers and he was playing just like everybody else was and he lost his life. So, rappers are coming out and they're saying things, basically wishing, Quavo and Takeoff, like, damn, pray. Like, this is crazy because no one thought that Takeoff would be dead at 28. This man was born in 1994. I mean, he's a child. He's a baby compared to a lot of us. Like, this is a whole crazy situation, point blank period. So you guys let me know what you think about this situation. So Takeoff lost his life. He was just chilling, minding his business, laying back in the cut while Quavo was shooting dice. He didn't like the way it went. Then allegedly somebody from Quavo and Takeoff, set pulled out because, and they said that they hit, Takeoff in the head. And if you've seen the video, it's just really, really a sad video, point blank period. I mean, it's devastating. Like, the videos on Twitter and just watching him it's like a movie set, like watching him lay down on the ground and you can see all the redness around the back of his head and you could tell that he was dead right then and there. And Quavo's people and somebody else called 911. There was a nurse that showed up to the scene and said that she's a nurse, and Quavo was asking the 911 operator what should she do. She said that she's a nurse. It's just really like, yo, art imitates life, life imitates art. So be careful what you put out there because it might come back to you. even if you just a chill dude minding your business and not bothering nobody, because we never heard anything about, Takeoff starting trouble, Takeoff starting any beef, Takeoff, having problems with people and things of that nature. And it's unfortunate that, Takeoff is not gonna Takeoff and Offset are not gonna get the chance to squash the beef, because it really felt like it was really Quavo beefing with Offset, and Takeoff picked a side, a more convincing side, and that was Quavo. Quavo, you know. So it's just really, really an unfortunate situation. It's very shocking. The 911 call is shocking. And just to know that this man is 28 years old and he lost his life. He was in unfamiliar territory. He was around people that he didn't know. There was a lot of people around. You know what I mean? And them type of situations, when you're in that type of situation, you need to bounce. Get out. Because things always pop off. Things always pop off when you got a bunch of people that got egos, gang affiliated, carrying weapons, shooting dice, probably drinking, smoking, taking pills, whoever. You know what I mean? And so they were supposed to be protected. They checked in with Jay Prince. They checked in with Jazz. And guess what? Takeoff is not here anymore. Okay? So only person that's really going to protect your life is you. So when you feeling that eerie type of situation, or you're around a bunch of people that you don't know who's strapped, they don't got no loyalty to you, they don't know who you are, they just see you as a lick. And then you got, Quavo allegedly, acting up, swinging on somebody, and then gunfire just hit the streets. It's a dangerous situation. Sometimes you got to know how to walk away. Sometimes you just got to let $7,000 go. Because I guarantee you, if this story is accurate in any type of way when it comes to, Quavo losing $7,000 and swinging on somebody, and then boom, gunfire erupts. And the alleged story is that, Takeoff was chilling in the cut. He was minding his business, just sitting back. And Quavo was shooting dice. He's living that life, that rock star life, but not thinking that somebody's life can be taken or taken. You got to be careful, because people don't value life anymore. And if you don't value your life, nobody is going to value your life. Okay? So just be very careful of the circles and the energy and the people that you're around. You're sitting around maybe a bunch of killers. You know what I mean? And they all know each other. They're familiar. They know who each other is. They know who to mess with. They know who to talk to. They know what to do. Like, you're in their territory. So they on guard, because now you are in their territory, not them in your territory. So they don't gotta respect you. They don't gotta give you that love that you think they're gonna give it to you because you're a millionaire, because you're a rapper, because you're affiliated with this label and things like that. They don't care. Like, this is crazy. So in any event, the cops were called around 2:30 a.m. And basically there was multiple witness of the fatal shooting that went down shortly after 2:30 a.m. That's when cops got the call from a bowling alley, in Houston. And, it was about a dice game. And Takeoff lost his life behind that. And Quavo ain't gonna get over that. It's gonna take Quavo a long time, especially when he thinks it's his fault, especially when he thinks that, maybe I did something wrong, and he started blaming himself. It's going to be really hard for him, to get over this type of situation. This is a huge loss. It's a huge loss to their family, their friends, their loved ones, and also their fans, and also their record label, and also to the people out here in the streets. Ain't nobody safe. So therefore, you got to move like every day is your last day. Especially if people think that you food and they want to get a name, because they're out there in Houston bragging, I took out Takeoff. That's bragging rights for a lot of people too. And what Mob Tie's gonna do? Reprimand the person that hit Takeoff. That person gonna still be breathing and moving. What, he gonna get taxed or something like that? You know what I mean? So when you say Jay Prince, oh, Jay Prince is this, he got mob ties, he's been in the game for a long time. You can't control these young dudes that are on drugs. You can't control them, especially when they have artilleries and weapons on them. All that cold street stuff that you talking about, that none of that matters in 2022. This man lost his life on November 1st of 2022. We ain't even see Thanksgiving yet. You know what I mean? It's just November. October just went past. It was Halloween. Whew. And another important thing to also think about is when you do have people that's around you that is carrying weapons and things of that nature, and they're supposed to protect you, because the word is the person that hit Takeoff was from his camp. People got to know how to really handle their self with a weapon. You have to practice. I mean, you, especially if you're the bodyguard, or you're guarding things and you're making sure everything's okay. You can't be on drugs, you can't be drinking, you can't be smoking, you can't be taking pills. You really have to bond with what you have. You really have to train. You really have to know what you're doing. You know, you just can't have anybody where, as far as we see or as we hear, they're saying somebody from Takeoff's camp is the person that hit him, and then the other camp fired back and he got shot twice. So the first wound that Takeoff received was from his camp. That's allegedly, because from somebody from the scene said that when Takeoff's people fired the first, that's when Takeoff dropped, and then you heard the second fire, and it did hit him too as well. It was like they was targeting him, or it was just, chaos where people not even knowing how to actually get the target that they want, because they don't even know how to use the weapon properly, because they have no training.